Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano. We are drinking the original Donut Shop coffee this morning. Have coffee with me. Hit pause on this video. Get your coffee ready. This is going to be a lengthy discussion. Today's video, we're just going to jump right into it, guys. And really, I had to think about whether I even wanted to talk about this or not, but I feel like it needs to get out here. Okay, now we know that cases of the cough have started to get on the rise again. Now, I don't know whether again, okay, so first off here, this is a complete opinionated video here. Anything that I say, there's no, other than looking at some clips online and CNN asking the question, are mask mandates returning? That is as far as we're going to go as far as factual news here. So this is all opinionated. Make sure you let me know down below some of your comments, some of your feelings on this matter. I'm going to let you know my feelings, and they are not good. I don't like the rumbles of mask mandates coming back into the mainstream of things. I don't. I think it's doesn't seem like it really worked. Now, you know, we've heard things of scientists say that it hasn't worked. We've also heard scientists that say it's worked a little, right? So there's differences between the two. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe in the mask thing. I never really thought it worked. I kind of thought it was silly. If you feel safe, if you feel secure when cases of anything are on the rise, and I wouldn't just say this with the cough, I would say this with the flu or different things. Kids are back in school. Whenever kids go back to school, all the different things go into the air, and there's colds and flus and all that stuff, and we just have to get through it like we always have. Now, I understand what the cough can be a little more serious in some cases, and apparently there are a couple new variants. Now, I haven't looked or researched much of this. Honestly, I didn't want to. Apparently, there's going to always be different things popping up from this. Now, I can already hear some of the comments that we're going to get on this, and I just, when you start hearing the noise, right, I feel like even last year, I didn't feel like it was much of a buzz, right? It was like there was no hints of things, but we've been hearing of a couple hospitals that have had mask mandates. Not too surprised there. I mean, if hospitals are having trouble dealing with some things and stuff, they may try to just slow down anything. Doesn't matter what it is. I get that. But now we're hearing little rumbles of college. I think there was a college in Atlanta. And again, in any of this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that they were going to be issuing this. Maybe some other college campuses. Heard some California hospitals are planning on reinstating mask policies. I don't know. I just don't want us to see what we fell back into a few years ago. And I you know, as much as I really did not want to talk about this today, especially on Sunday morning for you guys, but I feel this is something we need to discuss because it's something important. Our country, our world was crippled the last time. Our economy tanked. Our economy absolutely tanked. When we had all the lockdowns and stuff like that, my opinion here, I felt like that was more harmful than anything. Now, I understand that a lot of people had this and was troubled by it, and there was a big wave of disturbance that happened. Again, I am doing like a wordplay here to be careful on what I say on the channel here. Again, I stress this is an opinionated video here, okay? So there's anything that may sound like fact, I am talking at this as we go along here. So take it for what you will. Some of these things that I talk about are things that I've heard, but again, not solid fact. So this is very important that I get this through on this video and talk about this before we get into a little bit more of a deep discussion on this. I'll go back to what it was, what we went through, okay? Because I think we need a remembering lesson out of this. Okay, people didn't know what to think. People didn't know what to do. You know, we were all on lockdown. It was like we had days to prepare. You know, people talk about panic buying and stuff like that. This is why I don't like hearing things like this on the news and stuff, because now it's like, you know, you've had it out of people's minds, but now all of a sudden you just throw it out there, and then there's all these things that are happening again, and it's like this, I feel like this is kind of creating that type of atmosphere again. Now, is it going to happen like it did? No, I don't see that happening. I don't, but it's putting fear into a lot of people. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, the reason I'm doing this video today is because I've gotten a lot of emails over the last few days since the start of this. Now, with some of the different articles and stuff that you sent me, I did read through them, which we're not going to discuss in this video, but I will say this. We always talk about being prepared on the channel, smart buying. You know, it's always a good idea when we hear about these things to make sure that, and this is what we always talk about, buying up a lot of the different sales as you see them of the things that you use and you know you're going to use. Be prepared. Be prepared in the best way possible so that you and your family are able to get by for, you know, even if you can't afford to supply yourself for a good 6 months, a few weeks at least, a few weeks or a month. You know, have enough to where if the crap hits the fan, then you're able to protect yourself and make sure that you have a little bit of a stockpile of food and stuff like that. You may realize that I look over here a lot when I say that. It's because that's where we keep some of our different canned goods and stuff. And, you know, it's like there's no... You know, people say, well, don't show people what you have. Well, that's part of the reason why we don't, but at the same time, it's like, what are you going to get? Some Campbell's from me? You know? But anyway, I really wanted to have this discussion. I know it's a little disturbing here on a Sunday morning, but I've been putting together this video actually for a couple days. I've been taking some notes, reading a lot of things that you guys have been putting on our channel here. Because, you know, as you guys know, I don't like to just throw stuff out there. I want to do the research. I want to make sure that even the stuff, because, you know, people can play on words on TV and stuff and make things look a lot worse than what they really are. Do I think they look bad? No, not necessarily. Can you feel the hesitation in my voice, though? I mean, I don't know. And the not knowing, I think, creates a little bit of fear. Not really in me. I'm not worried because I'm prepared. I've been preparing for a while. Right? I knew that eventually there'll be another type of scenario to where we'll need to be prepared, no matter what that is. No matter what that is. It could be bad weather, it could be just bad things, you know, and I won't list off what those could be, but we all know well deep down that are things that can happen. What can happen someday may or will happen, and we need to pay attention. We always cover different grocery prices and different things on the channel here to help try and save people money. Everybody has to eat. Everybody has to eat. And honestly, the whole pandemic of everything that I started this. I started this channel when the pandemic started. Yeah, right around. I was like, you know, there is things that I have to talk about. There's things I have to discuss. When we first started, we were trying to provide a lot of entertainment. If you want to see what some of our older videos are like, when you go to our videos, click oldest, and you will get a lot of laughs because I didn't really know what I was doing. We didn't cover groceries and stuff like that. We were covering like what it's like living with the pandemic, going to theme parks and museums and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun, you know, and you know, it really did open up our channel to what it is today. And we realized one thing from all of this was that we weren't going to be in the same spot that we were when all of this went down. When we were on lockdown, I did a lot of thinking. I had a lot of time to think of how we're going to live our future. Now, me and Jessica have always been kind of preppers in a way. We never really called it prepping. We just called it, hey, it's good to have some stock on food. That way, if something happens to us or if something happens to me, you know, then Jess is going to have a bunch of stuff to get by until she can figure stuff out. You know, and you know, I hate to say things like that, and you hate to think that way. But at the same time, you have to, because you think of your loved ones and you want to make sure that you're able to protect them and provide for them in case something happens. Now, I started this video off with talking a little bit about what's going on. Do I think that this is just something that's getting blown out of proportion? Yes and no. I don't like hearing about mask mandates. Okay, I don't. I just don't. I know a lot of you don't either. None of us want to hear about that. However, if it is for the right reasons and for people to keep them... See, I don't even know really how to answer it. Because, you know, we know that what we have found out over the last few years, couple years, of the things that, well, this worked, this didn't work. And again, this is me just taking information from different idiot boxes and TV and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't know what to believe anymore. And again, this is an opinionated discussion. All these things that I discuss in this video, take for what you will, take with a grain of salt. But I felt like I needed to inform our 34,000 subscribers. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe down below. We do these videos every day to try and help keep you in the know and save you a lot of money in the grocery stores. Give us a thumbs up. All of this stuff, all this interaction really helps our channel grow all around the world. We do appreciate it. But guys, this is just something that it's troubling, you know. I was getting flooded with comments and emails of different articles and things going on about this. People saying, oh no, here we go again. And it's like, I gotta admit, for a few minutes of reading through all this stuff, I thought the same way. I'm like, here we go again. This is a nightmare. Like, when is it gonna end? The thing is that I don't think it ever will. I think it's here to stay. I think we just have to continually adapt with it. How we adapt with it, I don't have the answer for that, but I don't think anybody does. So if to err on the side of caution of things that we may say or tell people, do what you feel is right in any kind of situation. Do what you think is best for you and your family. I've always said on this channel, no judgment of any kind. You know, if you feel unsafe in a store, even today, I mean, I'm sure, how many of you out there now go into a grocery store and see an entire groups of people that aren't wearing a mask? I don't. There's always 3 or 4 people that are still wearing a mask. They may have some kind of like autoimmune disease, and it may not even be for the cough. It might be so that they don't get the flu, or they lessen their chances of getting something else. I don't really know. I don't know. And again, that's not my decision to make for people. That's their decision to make on their own. My decision, you know, I always grew up, you know, my family always taught me, like, you have to breathe in these different things. You have to get these different kinds of, you have to catch a cold, you have to catch this, so that your body learns to fight it off. Whether that is the same case with this or not, I will not say what my belief on that is, because I know everybody is different. As far as me, yeah, I never really felt like I was a danger to anybody, ever. I mean, to me, it's the same thing as anything, right? If you're sick, stay home, right? If you're sick, stay home, get better, get some rest, get some sleep, drink a lot of orange juice. That's what I do. Is that what you should do? I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's different. That seems to work for me. Some hot tea, even coffee. Speaking of which, time to take a pause. Oh, Original Donut Shop. That is good, guys. I am going to get back to Walmart and get some more of that great value Colombian coffee. That has really grown on me. I think it's really good. One of my favorites. And I like being different. I like changing it up. I'll get burned out on the Walmart coffee eventually, and I don't know, go back to something else. But and one of our longtime viewers was mentioning the Paul Nicholas coffee. When I find it, I'm going to try it. So we'll give that a shot. But guys, something we need to pay attention to. I feel like we just keep getting hit with so many different hurricanes, whirlwinds of events, train derailments constantly. I mean, every time I open up my email, somebody's sending me a new article on a train derailment. It's like, I can't cover all this stuff by myself. I feel like if I had a huge news network, the one thing that I would tell people that whoever worked for me, I'd be like, anything that we ever put on this channel, it may be delayed. We may not be the first ones to put it out, but it is going to be all the facts. Because I do not believe in news that is not true, right? You almost have to have... I feel like journalism has really gone down the drain. I feel like if I was going to be a journalist, And thank you to the person that mentioned that the other day. I was flattered. But if I was going to be a journalist or something, I feel like the time is too late for me. I feel like my time to be a journalist or a news editor or something like this would have been 30, 40 years ago, maybe longer, back when people trusted the news. And I'm not saying don't trust the news, but do your own research, because there are agendas. There are agendas of which these different networks are constantly in motion for, right? You have the right, you have the left, and it's like they're just constantly arguing with each other. And it's like, what? That doesn't solve anything. That doesn't solve anything. I mean, where's the truth? That's all we want. We want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Sorry, couldn't help myself. But as far as this goes, it's really all I wanted to say about this today is hopefully this doesn't expand out as much as, the initial blast of what they're saying on TV and all these different news articles and everything. And hopefully it doesn't, and if it does, again, we just got to be prepared, guys. We got to be prepared. Make sure you're going to the grocery store now, stocking up on a few things. No, don't panic buy. We never encourage panic buying on the channel. We saw where that led us a few years ago, right? I mean, that was crazy. That was ridiculous. But yeah, make sure you got some toilet paper. Oh boy. I'll tell you guys, when I first started reading this stuff, I was like, it was sort of like this last year, but we didn't, it feels like it's got more of an impact now because I feel like it's rested for a year. It didn't get as much traction last year as it is right now, right? And hopefully it's just something that just kind of fizzles out. People come to their senses and are like, well, you know what? Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I don't care. It's like but the thing is, we're talking about hospitals too, okay? So we got to be a little bit cautious, with hospitals and stuff, because there's just all kinds of things going around, and you want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure everybody around you is safe. As far as being out in the open and stuff like that, though, I mean, come on. Do you still see people driving with a mask on with nobody else in the car? I do. That's the kind of fear that has been put into the world. That is something that needs to, I don't know. To me, that is the thing I hate to see the most. I saw somebody the other day driving with a mask on, nobody else in the car. I mean, I don't know. There could have been a baby in the back or something. But I don't know. To each his own. Do whatever you want. Like I said, no judgment here. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I don't care. The only thing that's hard for me is that I get bad, like even right now, I'm dealing with another sinus infection. Usually I get one in the spring, and then the worst one usually comes for me in the fall. And I get allergies real bad, and sometimes it turns into a sinus infection, which is why I sound a little deep right now. But it's hard for me to wear a mask. It really is. Like, if I was to do a video in a mask, it would almost be impossible. I wouldn't be able to breathe. Because I can't breathe with that thing on. And my doctors actually said that it's not a good idea to. That was actually recommending that I stayed home because of the different breathing that in and out is not good for me. So, with the mask on. So, I have to be careful with that, especially when I have one of these sinus things going on. But, like I said, to each his own. Always talk to your doctor for anything of any questions that you have about your body or things like that. And that's why I discussed that with my doctor, because it was really hard for me to breathe in this thing. So, it was very complicated. But, wow, we fought through this discussion here. I wasn't even sure. I feel comfortable enough putting this out here. Again, these very touchy subjects, I'm very careful with what I do. Want to make sure that there's no false information on any of this stuff or anything. That's why I've completely said this has been a complete opinionated discussion. Let me know your opinions down in the comments. Again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe down below. We do these, I feel we've been covering these events more than ever because it seems like every day or every couple days there's something big going on that we need to pay attention to. So, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight, or this morning. Sorry, It's actually night for me, but morning for you, because this will be coming out Sunday morning. So happy Sunday morning. Have a good rest of your day. Don't let this stuff get you down. Just wanted to mention this in case any of you out there didn't know what was going on. Do the research on it if you wish. And, you know, just hopefully, knock on wood, you know, things stay an even track and not get too overinflated. No pun intended with all the inflation talk and all that stuff. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.